Stadium, Joel Krausar and Chuck Van Heck high atop this beautiful facility up here in Marion, Iowa, as the Muscatine Muskies take on the Linn-Mar Lions in Week 3 of Iowa 4A District 4 action. Chuck, a big game tonight between the Linn-Mar Lions, who come in 4-2, and Muscatine 1-5 on the season.
Yes, it's a fun district game, and it's a little cool, but it's a great night for football.
It's a beautiful night for football, especially if you're a lineman. You can get some stuff going on a night like tonight. It's he whose hands numb first wins, usually in the trenches on a night like tonight. Our pregame sponsor, Hy-Vee Market Grill Express, as Brian Musell has the night off. Chuck Van Heck and Joel Kraus are here. So Chuck, as we look at tonight, Linn-Mar comes in 4-2 on the season. Some big wins coming into this game, and they're led by their senior quarterback, Marcus Orr, who has 57 for 90 completions on attempts, 881 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he also has 3 rushing touchdowns as well on the season.
This is going to be a little bit different game than what we've had the last couple games. Our opponents have pounded the ball and tried to put it into us, and I think tonight we'll see a passing game, and hopefully we can put some pressure on him, and our defensive line can work well, and we've got some good defensive backs. We know that. So I think we'll have a good game plan. We know that Orr's a real good quarterback.
Muscatine offense, they've really started to come into their own a little bit the last 2 games, especially last week in the comeback against Pleasant Valley as they were defeated in overtime. And one of the catalysts for that has been junior quarterback Jake Draves, who's taken the helm at the quarterback position. We saw him get his first start against City High, played an improved game last week. I think the coaching staff looking to see if Jake can put that complete game together tonight.
Well, Jake has shown that he can throw the ball pretty well, and Jake also can run the football pretty well, so it's helped us as far as diversity in that area. And we know that we have one of the best running backs in the state with Tim Nimley, so between that combination, hopefully we can get off to a good start this evening.
Nimley, the junior tailback, 101 carries for 580 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. He will have a good matchup defensively with Clayton Muzinski, the sophomore linebacker and defensive lineman for Linn-Mar, who's got 47.5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. And we have the national anthem going on here by the Linn-Mar band, so we're going to take a quick break off of the mics and listen to the band. Linn-Mar Marching Band finishing up their national anthem as we're just about 3 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take a 60-second break. You're listening to Muskie Football and the Hy-Vee Market Grill Express pregame show on the Muskie Sports Network.
Get into the manufacturing industry of your choice on your terms. We prepare you with hands-on training, flexible class schedules, and a network of employers after graduation. Now that's community. We are Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, the community's college.
Hello, my name is Brad Kistner, owner of Avenue Subs. Avenue Subs has been a local favorite in Muscatine for years, and we're dedicated to bringing you big sandwiches and big smiles. We're community driven and proud to call Muscatine our home. On behalf of all the employees at Avenue Subs, go Muskies!
The mission of our company is to serve our clients with the most efficient and courteous service available.
People in our community, when they ask who are we going to get for pest control, they just call Bosch.
Remember, insects or pests, call the best, Bosch Pest Control.
Chicharo's Mexican Restaurant is where Muskie fans go before the game. Our southern Mexican cuisine is truly unique to Muscatine, and we make sure everyone who walks in is treated like family. Chicharo's Mexican Restaurant is a proud supporter of Muskie Athletics.
Why should someone bank at First National Bank?
Because we care about our customers and we're committed to meeting their financial needs, and we're also a big part of the community.
Choose Poop Pals for your local pet waste management, lawn care service, snow removal, and much more. Starting as low as $7, call your friendly neighborhood pooper scoopers for a quote. Proud supporter of Muskie Sports.
Is this thing on? Hey football fans, TJ Deere, Toto Muscatine. I get a little excited during the football season, and just the other day I spiked the ball, and this is what happened.
They're deferring, and so they will kick off to the Muskies. Muscatine will start out on offense here, Chuck, and they're going to want to get to a fast start.
Right, hopefully we can get good field position and be able to operate. You're in for a tough night, Joel, trying to read those red numbers on gray uniforms for Linn-Mar.
We will do our best as this is the Channel Seed kickoff presented by Channel Seed and Matt Fletcher. Prince Weed takes the kick at the 3-yard line. He's up the left sideline. He's got a little bit of a seam, and he's brought down at the 26-yard line. So a good kickoff return for the junior defensive back kick returner, Prince Weed.
I think we've got a little bit of a favorable wind here to start off with, so hopefully we can take advantage of it.
Yeah, the wind at the Muskies' back. It should be fortuitous to throw the ball. However, we will say Linn-Mar, one of the top defensive teams in the state with 13 interceptions on the season. Draves in the pistol, Nimley in the backfield, Peterson in motion, and the give is to Nimley up the middle, and he's going to dance a little bit and get a good run and a good push from the offensive line for a gain of about 7 on first down.
Nimley is just really good at having patience.
A big third down conversion there for the Muskies. Draves in shotgun, Doc Portilla in motion for the Muskies. The give is to Nimley, and he's met in the backfield. And that looks like the tackle was made by Sam Stearns, the senior linebacker.
I think it's really important for us to control the football and keep them off the field offensively if we can.
You know, that's one of the things Muscatine has really tried to do is run the ball well, then let the run set up the pass. And when you have a back like Nimley, that's a good goal to have. So second down and 11 for Draves and the Muskies.
Go ahead.
Hardy split out left in the slot with McDaniel. Gay in motion, and Peterson to the wide right. Draves back to pass. Nobody open. The pressure gets to him. That's going to be a sack. Loss of about 2 as Draves climbed back in the pocket.
I think if he'd have waited just a few more seconds, Nimley might have been open, but they're putting a lot of pressure on him.
So that'll be 3rd and 14 for the Muskies on the Muscatine 49-yard line.
I think we've got a good game plan here, the way we're attacking it.
4 down linemen for Linn-Mar. 3 receivers to the top of the formation. Peterson comes in motion back into the H-back position. Nimley also in the backfield for the Muskies. So boot out to the left, and the pressure just gets to Draves. And another sack for the Linn-Mar defense.
The defensive end, I can't get his number. He's been in about 3 plays already. We just can't seem to get the block on him.
Yeah, I think that might be. I can't tell if that's Chris Baker or not on the top side. But yeah, So Muscatine into punt. Xander Morgan back deep for the punt for the Muskies. Sam Wieskamp, the long snapper. Kicks away. And that is fielded at the 27-yard line and returned up to the 34-yard line. And Trey Martin with the return there for Linn-Mar.
That was a decent kick, and we've got them. They're not up to their 35 yet, so we've got them in pretty good situation as far as field position.
So Linn-Mar will take their first offensive possession of the game. And again, led by senior quarterback Marcus Orr, who's just under 1,000 yards passing for the season.
I think he missed a couple of games, too.
So they'll come out, 3 wide receivers left, single back to the right of the shotgun with 1 receiver to the top of the formation on the right-hand side. Motion receiver, fake, and they give us to the running back, Bryson White, and Muscatine with good defense. That'll be a tackle for loss. Looks like TD may have got in there and disrupted that.
I think that was Reed Alsis that got the tackle there. And we did a nice job at penetration. Hopefully we can continue to do that.
Yeah, that's really the key to stopping that zone running scheme is to play back behind the line of scrimmage. Doubles formation, 2 receivers to both sides of the quarterback. Or drops back to pass. He's got a hitch on the outside. That pass is complete to Will Zahradnik. And he's going to be tackled just shy of the first down.
That's their big play, guys, so they went to him right away.
Yeah, they went to a nice pitch and catch there, and it looked like one of the Muscatine defensive backs slipped. And on a cool night like tonight, you start to get some condensation on that turf, and it can freeze a little bit, and it can be a little cool. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for Linn-Mar.
When that happens, it's always advantage receivers.
Yeah, especially with the new glove technology, it doesn't seem to get the ball slick. So 3rd and 1, Orr in the shotgun, 3 receivers right. And it looks like Orr keeps it, and he's met in the hole. It's going to be close, and they are going to give him a first down. He got about 1.5 yards.
We had him initially stopped, but he kept his feet moving and got the first down. Rangel was on the tackle.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Linn-Mar at the 46-yard line.
I think we've been able to control the line of scrimmage pretty good here defensively.
2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. The doubles formation, single back, or in the shotgun. Receiver comes in motion, and they're going to give it to the receiver. I believe that is number 8, Andrew Knipper, the 6'3", 190-pound wide receiver, quarterback, defensive back.
Prince Wee had a real nice stop on the tackle. They had a good gain, but he really put it to him.
And correction, that was Trey Martin, the ball carrier for Linn-Mar, number 6. I'm wondering if Andrew Knipper, though, is related to Chris Knipper, former Hawkeye tight end, who I know lives up in this area.
He might be.
Orange shotgun, 3 receivers right. He's back to pass. He's going to take a shot deep, and Tok Portilla got in there just a step early.
He was beat, and he actually probably did the right thing instead of giving up the big, probably touchdown, but it was a real shot on that receiver.
Well, and he hooked the upfield shoulder and then still played the ball. I mean, so it wasn't he didn't only go for the receiver. He still had a hand making a play for the ball. It was the right call to call pass interference. But Tokpor understanding the situation and electing to give up 15 yards as opposed to 40.
That's correct.
So that'll make it 1st and 10 for Linn-Mar from the 32-yard line of the Muskies. So the Linn-Mar has made its way into Muscatine territory. 3 receivers right, one tailback, and single receiver to the left for Orr. Muscatine showing a blitz look. Bubble screen. That's out to Trey Martin. He's got some room, and he is tackled. He's going to be just short of the first down. So it'll be 2nd and 1.
Orr throws a real nice ball. There's no doubt about that. We've got to try and get some pressure on him. He's sitting back there pretty easily right now.
So it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 22-yard line for Linn-Mar. We're in the first quarter of play here between the Lions and the Muskies. Orr takes the snap. He drops back to pass. He's going to throw the fade. Prince Weed is right there. And a good defensive play there for the Muskies.
That was an excellent play. I think he almost had the interception, but well played.
That was intended for Brandon Rouse, the 6'3 senior wide receiver. And Prince Weed played that nicely. That's a long way out to go to throw that fade. That's a high-risk play.
Yeah. So, we play this against this offense every night, so we should have a pretty good shot.
Very similar philosophy. 3rd and 1 for the Lions. That's give is to White. He cuts back, a little jump cut, and breaks a tackle, and that's going to be a first down for Linn-Mar. Chuck, one thing I've noticed in short yardage situations, the offensive line is snapping down to their three-point stance in an attempt to draw off a defensive lineman.
Right. They've got the tricks just like we do when we run our offense.
3 receivers left for Orr. He's got White in the backfield, 1 wide receiver right. Not a lot of tight end usage in this Linn-Mar. Here's the wide receiver screen. And a big collision there. That pass is completed to Jerron Centers. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for Linn-Mar.
Togadisa made a real nice tackle there.
You get a big defensive lineman who's reading that play and following down for a big hit like that. You can sometimes get a turnover that way.
He can move.
3 receivers right for Orr. White still in the backfield as they attack the red zone. The give us to White. He's met in the backfield. Reed Olsis, the first to find him for a loss of 2.
Did a nice job of penetration there. That's what it takes. Nick Peterson was on that play also.
The Muscatine defense has really played outstanding all year.
Yeah.
And they continue to grow in their roles.
Yeah, people don't realize we've lost 3 games by 3 points each, so it's been in almost every game.
As Muscatine looks to stop the Lions on 3rd down, 3rd and 7. 3 receivers right for Orr, 1 left, White in the backfield. He's going to sprint out to his right. And he's got a receiver open in the flat who's going to be able to convert the first down. That looks like it's Centers. No, Rouse, it looks like. Man, those numbers are hard to see from all the way on the other side of the field.
It's almost impossible. That was really a nice play that they set up. You've got to give them credit for what they're doing right now.
Yeah, he was the furthest receiver to the inside, and he just worked his way to the flat. So here's a heavy look. Orr will come in under center with a full house backfield as it's inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for Linn-Mar. And they give it to White, and he's stopped for no gain.
I think Alsis was in on that play again. We stacked it up. 3 or 4 guys were right there.
Yeah, up front we've got Riley Smock, Togan Deason, Sean Brown, and Diego Rangel, Olsis, Thomas Sanchez at the linebacker position, and then Tegan Schmelzer, Tak Portilla, Prince Wee, and Quentin Middaugh also out on the field for the Muskies right now. Goal line formation again. A little motion. Here's the ISO give to White, and he's met in the backfield again.
Another great job
like Aaron Thomas was in there initially, or Quentin Middaugh, excuse me, and then the defense rallied to the ball carrier. A loss of 1 for Linn-Mar.
We've done an excellent job in this goal line defense. Hopefully we can get it done again.
This is where you look for some sort of play action pass.
Yeah, there.
Says Orr comes in under center. And he's going to pass. He's got the fullback in the flat. And Tak Portilla unable to get there. As Linn-Mar will score a touchdown. And looks like Guerrero is the recipient of that touchdown. Gabe Guerrero, the senior fullback.
When they go in there where Orr goes under center, they're sit there for several seconds, and it's pretty tough to react.
So Linn-Mar will come on for the extra point. Low snap. The kick is up. And it's good. Linn-Mar takes the lead, 7-0 over the Muskies. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network and Discover Muscatine. And we're back at Linn-Mar Stadium. Linn-Mar kicking off to Muscatine. Prince Wee and Eli Gay back deep for the Muskies. Kickoff brought to you by Channel Seed and Matt Fletcher. And that's going to be a touchback. So Muscatine will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
You know, Joel, our defensive line has done a very fine job. Hopefully we're on the sideline working on some pass protection adjustments, and if we can get that done, I think we'll be in this ball game all night long.
Yeah, and now the offense looking for an opportunity after seeing this defense. They had a nice gain. They were able to convert 1 first down. So Jake Draves and the Muskie offense will come back out and try to work their magic. Mentor Cooper in motion. They give us to Nimley, and Nimley's got a lane. Touchdown saving tackle possibly from looks like number the Elijah Glakia.
One more guy, and he'd have been gone.
Good job of blocking there from the Muskie offensive line. Nimley and Cooper in the backfield with Draves, while Hardy and McDaniel and Gay at receiver for the Muskies. This give is going to be to Cooper. And he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain, a half a yard, but looks like it might be no gain.
It looked like we were going to have a big play there, but the Linn-Mar linebacker stepped in there.
Looks like that was Mazinski, who is their leading tackler in the middle.
He's a tough kid.
Number 43 is a middle linebacker. Where have we seen that before?
Yeah.
In Eastern Iowa.
Yeah, he goes.
Maybe Decorah, maybe Bettendorf, maybe at Kinnick Stadium. Jake Draves, the quarterback, he takes the snap. He gives the ball to Cooper. Cooper again is met in the hole, that time by number 21, Cameron Walker.
And Walker's their second leading tackler, so they got some very active linebackers.
Yeah, he almost plays that strong safety outside linebacker position.
Yep.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 for Muscatine as we are at 45 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Muscatine trails 7-0. Draves sets his troops. Comes into the shotgun formation. Nimley left of Draves. Well, Eli Gay's in the slot right. There's the snap. Passes to Nimley, who's wide open, and he's got field. He's to the 50, over the 50, to the 45, out at the 40-yard line. Huge gain for the Muskies.
That's the type of play that we've been looking for. And that time we blocked that defensive end over there, and then they were in big trouble.
Yeah, good blitz pickup for the Muskies, and they're able to get the ball into their playmaker, Tim Nimley's hands. 19 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Muscatine 1st and 10 from the Linn-Mar 41. Draves takes the snap. He gives it to Nimley. Nimley's got in the lane. Stiff arms. Another stiff arm, and he carries a man for 9 yards. And he's going to get over that first down mark, it looks like. And that'll be a pickup for Nimley. 1st and 10 for the Muskies.
We don't keep that stat or don't have it available, but the yards that he gets after the first hit
his
are always really good.
His yards after contact is huge. He's such a physical runner. And he's mastered the lost art of the stiff arm, which not enough young backs utilize. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. As Muscatine trails Linn-Mar 7-0, we've played one here at Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar, Chuck Van Heck on the Discover Muscatine Muskie Sports Network. We're going to step away for 60 seconds. I'm like ready to take this off. It's warm up here. It's a good heater.
It's real warm.
It'll be Muscatine ball, 1st and 10 at the Linn-Mar 30-yard line. Jake Draves with 3 receivers to his right, Tim Nimley in the backfield. The give is to Nimley. He breaks past that first layer, and he gets a gain of 4 on first down.
We are doing a nice job of blocking in the line. He's got a chance to get through there, and once he does, it's going to be lights out one of these times.
Yeah, and Tim is looking to be getting healthier and healthier week by week. He had an ankle injury earlier in the season and looks to be back to his all-state self that he was last year.
Well, he's a workhorse.
Doubles receivers as Eli Gay goes in motion to have 3 receivers left. Give it to Draves, keeps it. He's over the right side. He's got a first down. Good cut by Jake Draves, and that'll be a 1st and 10 at the Linn-Mar 11-yard line. Good keep there by the quarterback.
Set that play up nicely. Given it to Nimley several times, and they're crashing in on him, and Draves kept that ball, and it was a really nice play.
Yeah, he read that defensive end perfectly. Keeper, and about a 13-yard gain for the junior quarterback as Muscatine knocking on the door in the First National Bank red zone. Draves in the pistol. He takes a snap. He gives it to Nimley. Nimley comes up field and turns into a rugby scrum, and Nimley is going to gain about 3 yards there on first down.
We've talked about this before, but you never see him go down on the first tackle.
Yeah, he keeps those legs churning, that's for certain. Linn-Mar doing some defensive substitutions, bringing in some of their bigger defensive tackles. Angel Graciano, Cleo Garrels, a 285-pounder, coming into the ball game for Linn-Mar, as Muscatine has Nick Peterson at the fullback position, right to the right of Draves. Gay in motion, Nimley in the backfield. Snaps to Draves. He gives it to Nimley. Nimley puts a shoulder down and is able to fight forward maybe for another yard. So it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 9-yard line.
They put those big guys right in there, and it was a tough thing there. I'm sure Coach Mueller noticed that.
Muscatine offense looking to get on the board here in the second quarter. You know, Chuck, they came back from a 24-point deficit last week in the second half to take Pleasant Valley into overtime. Unfortunately, came out just losing that game by just a couple of points.
Nobody will ever question the heart and the desire of this team.
And right now they're trying to have some of that success turn into success here in the first half. And we're going to have a timeout for Muscatine. Timeout, Muskies. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football, the Discover Muscatine Muskie Sports Network. Welcome back to Muskie Football. Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar and Chuck Van Heck on the call as our good friend Brian Musell is listening from home. Hope you're enjoying your viewership as you can view this on Muscatine Power and Water as well as YouTube and Facebook at Discover Muscatine. Some of our fine sponsors, Avenue Subs and Nutrition Outlet, as the Muskies are in the First National Bank red zone. Jake Draves drops back. He scrambles. And he's able to get that pass away, and he does have a receiver over there, and he was outside the tackle box. So, and the ball did get past the line of scrimmage as well. So we are safe from intentional grounding on that play, Chuck.
He did a nice job to get that away. They had a guy right on him. You know, this drive has fired up a pretty nice Muscatine crowd that's come up here this evening, and they got to see some real fun drive this time.
And so the Muskies are going to come out here and go for it on fourth down. It is 4th and 4. They can still get a first down if they get it to the 3-yard line. And looks like Eli Gay is at quarterback. And he gives it to Nimley. Nimley breaks a tackle. Can he get to the first down marker?
No,
he's going to be just short as the Muskies stopped on 4th down. Eli Gay tackled just a yard short.
Well, one thing about this, they have bad field position, and hopefully we can hold them down there and get the ball back in a respectable situation.
So that'll be a turnover on downs for the Muskies as they are stopped just 2 yards short. So Linn-Mar will take over inside their own 5-yard line. So Muscatine, unfortunately, not able to come away with points, but they do flip the field position-wise as the Muskie defense looks to get back into it. The give is to White. He's got a lane, and then he'll be out over the 15-yard line as White for a first down.
White's their best runner. He's got about 500 yards for the season now, and looks pretty good. That last drive, we probably had the ball as long as we've had all year long in one drive.
Yeah, that was
really
a good
nice
drive. It was unfortunate to not come away with any points.
Right.
As we are 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Linn-Mar leading 7-0. Or under center. Little toss out here to White. White cuts it back in, and Prince Wee in on that play from his corner position. Great play there. Or, excuse me, Takpor Tia. Great play by Tia.
We've seen a lot of him do that this year. He's just really quick and tough and hard-nosed and just doesn't back down away from anybody.
Yeah, he set the edge, made the running back have to turn it back in, but he was able still to close and make the tackle. Or coming in under center, he's got bunch receivers right, White in the backfield. There's a little power play, guard pulled, and Muscatine able to stop him for a minimal gain.
That was an excellent play. Controlled the line of scrimmage. Sean Brown was on the tackle.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Linn-Mar Lions at their own 27-yard line. This is a big 3rd down here for the Muskies.
We need to make this stop if we can.
Or with an I formation behind him, he's under center, receiver right, tight end right. Give is to White, and he's going to have the first down as Tegan Schmelzer in there for the tackle.
White made a nice cut there. He looked like Nimley on that cut, so you can't take anything away from him.
A little split backfield there in the I formation. Fullback went one way, and the running back went the other.
Disa was looked like a slant right, and he cut off the center's tail there and went to his right, and the hole was there.
So Orr back in the shotgun, tight end right, receiver in the wing with White in the backfield, twins receivers to the top left of the formation. Here comes Martin in motion. They give it to Martin. And Martin's going to be tackled.
That was another great stop by Tia.
Yeah.
Or Prince Wee and Tia.
So it's going to be a gain of 3.
It could have been a lot more. That was a really nice move.
The Muscatine defense doing what they can. They really are needing a takeaway here. Both of these teams have a good takeaway margin on defense. Or under center. I formation. Short motion from Martin. Here's the toss left. White tries to get outside, and he's met by a gang of Muskies.
They set the edge over there. It was really a good play. Very little gain. Rangel was on the tackle, along with 3 or 4 other guys. Another 3rd down, Joel.
So it's 3rd and 4 for the Muskies as they are trying to get their defense off of the field. It's from the Linn-Mar 37-yard line. 34-yard line. Or under center, he's got the motion. He's going to keep it. He's going to boot right. He's got the tight end open in the flat. One-handed catch by the fullback again. That is
33.
Chris Baker with the catch. Great one-handed catch there from the fullback, and he's going to gain about 12 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 to the Muskie 45.
Takpo Tia again made a solid tackle, but they had a nice play there. Once he got outside our contain, you're in real trouble because if you come up, he's going to pass it, and if you don't, he'll run the football.
So the Muskies defense comes out, and they're 3-4-4. Here's a rocket screen out wide to the receiver. There's Jorge Ocampo coming up from his safety position. And we got a flag. And we'll see what that is.
Prince Wee spotted the play. He just couldn't get the tackle, and once he got by him, then it was a pretty good gain. We're backing up.
Looks like this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Muskies. So that'll be another 15 yards for Linn-Mar after they gain a 1st down.
That's too bad.
That's the first penalty of the game.
Well, we had the other 15-yarder.
Oh, that's right. We had the other pass interference penalty.
So we've had 2 big penalties on plays to help them on their drives.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Or under center. He's going to keep the ball, booting out. He has pressure. Ball's thrown late over the middle, and that is caught. And that is a touchdown.
We had tremendous pressure on him. He did a great job of throwing that pass.
And that was Andrew Knipper coming down with the catch for the touchdown.
I thought we were going to sack him, but he...
And that was pretty good coverage in the back end, too. Prince Wee was there, and Knipper just able to bring the ball down. And a really strong throw from Orr. The kick is up. And it's good. So Linn-Mar will take the lead 14-0 as we are taking a quick 30-second break here on the Muskie Sports Network. Some of our fine sponsors here bringing you Muskie Sports on Discover Muscatine. Our halftime sponsor is Toyota of Muscatine. Channel Seed with Matt Fletcher, a great sponsor for us, sponsoring all of our kickoffs tonight. Our play of the game is brought to you by Chicharo's Tequila Bar and Grill. Muscatine's been in the red zone, brought to you by First National Bank of Muscatine. Our fan cam sponsor is Poop Pals. And our fine broadcast sponsors of Avenue Subs, Nutrition Outlet, Boonies on the Avenue, Excel Auto Glass, and Bosch Pest Control, bringing you Muskie Athletics all fall and winter long here on Discover Muscatine. And Chuck, that was a big drive for Linn-Mar to get a 2-score lead after stopping Muscatine inside their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, you know, we've had that happen 2 or 3 times this year. Have a real nice drive and not be able to capitalize on it, and then the other team come down and score, and it's, momentum. We've got to get this back.
And the ball blew off of the tee on this windy night here in Marion, Iowa, as Linn-Mar will have to bring a holder in to hold this kickoff, which usually means you have an opportunity to return it.
The kicker, you can see his shoes pretty well, can't you?
Yeah, those are bright orange. I wish their numbers were that color.
Yep.
And the kick is up, and that's going to be fielded by Prince Wee. And he's going right, and he's got a seam. Wee breaks a tackle, and he does fumble the ball, but it went out of bounds. So it'll be Muskie ball out over their own 40-yard line. Great return there from Wee.
Really nice return. He at about the 30-yard line, he had to sidestep a tackler and then added another 10 yards on there. And we've got great field position, so let's go after it.
Yeah, you just got to keep positive. If you're in the Muscatine offense, you've shown you can move the ball on this defense and just want to finish this with some points. 4:51 to play here in the first half. Muscatine trailing Linn-Mar 14-0 as the Muskie offense at 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Jake Draves with his 3rd series of the game at quarterback as the Muskie offense trying to get the ball moving. Draves gives it to Nimley. Nimley breaks a tackle again. Another stiff arm. And that's a gain of about 15 for the junior on 1st down.
And that was 10 yards after the first contact. So, again, he can really run that with that football. Fun to watch.
Good job from the Muscatine offensive line opening up some holes here early in this ball game.
We're doing some great run blocking.
As the tempo picks up and the Muskies look to push the pressure onto the Lion defense. 3 receivers left on the field are Peterson, Hardy, Gay, McDaniel, and Nimley for the Muskies. And the fake is to Nimley. Draves keeps it, and he's tackled in the backfield. He fights to get another yard or 2 after the initial contact, so it'll be a loss of 2 on 1st down, so it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Muskies.
It's a difficult read for him. I think if he'd have given it, we'd have probably had a nice little gain there, but you've got to take some chances.
Yeah, and that's a good adjustment from Linn-Mar after giving up a big gain from Draves. 3 receivers left. And Xander Morgan in at quarterback now. Xander Morgan takes the snap.
Nice little gain.
And he keeps it. And that'll be a gain of 4 for the Muskies.
Another big 3rd down play for us. We need to keep control of the football.
Xander Morgan, almost like having another running back in the backfield, has played a lot of football this year for the Muskies.
It's good to see him back healthy, him too.
Menor Cooper in the tailback position. Morgan back to pass, that rocket screen. And that is incomplete. Intended for Eli Gay. Gay took a little bit of a shot there at the end of that play.
Right afterwards, could have been close to a non-protected receiver, but they didn't call it.
So that'll be 4th and 7 for the Muskies from the Lion 41-yard line. A little added dimension here with Xander Morgan also being the punter. You can line up in a base formation and then maybe back up and quick kick.
Yeah, we've got 2 of those with Sam and him.
Looks like the Muskies are going to go for it here on 4th. Rocket screen to Zach Hardy, and he drops the ball. Nonetheless, that's going to be an incomplete pass or a fumble, and it will be first. That's an incomplete pass. So it'll be first down for Linn-Mar from the 41-yard line on a turnover on downs.
Well, they're going to have good field position. Defensively, we need to make a real good stand here.
You know, for 2 teams that pride themselves on takeaways, neither one really even been close to a turnover yet. The Muscatine defense looking to maybe dial up a takeaway on this series.
Except for a couple penalties, it's been no turnovers, no penalty night, which is good. And this time of the year, that's what you expect.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout here from Linn-Mar. We're going to take a 30-second break. You're listening to Muskie Sports on the Discover Muscatine Muskie Sports Network. Eastern Iowa Community College is bringing you Muskie Sports here on the Muskie Sports Network, presented by Discover Muscatine. Eastern Iowa Community College, your community's college, presenting the defensive player of the game for all of our football and basketball broadcasts this year. And then Hy-Vee Market Grill, bringing you our pregame show and Market Grill Express. Great place to watch the Hawkeye and Cyclone football games on Saturdays. Chuck, it's all-you-can-eat bacon for $12 at the Market Grill Express during National Pork Month in October.
You know what they say, everything's better with bacon.
Yeah, but in Big Ten football is a great place to watch games there, and you can eat bacon all night long. So Linn-Mar will have it 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line or under center. He's going to drop back to pass, looking deep. Nothing there. He tries to check it down. He's got a man complete. Breaks the tackle. And that'll be a gain of 21 for Linn-Mar.
We had one of our linebackers on him just close as he could be, and he got that pass off again. We missed the tackle, and he got about 10 more yards.
And that was Andrew Knipper again, who had the touchdown catch just a few minutes ago. Or in the shotgun. Motion, he gives it. That is met.
They love that play.
Yeah, Tegan Smelzer coming up. Nice tackle. Trey Martin takes the give, and that's just a 3-yard gain for Linn-Mar.
That was another hard-nosed tackle. We've had some nice tackling this evening.
Just under 2:40 to play here in the first half. As Muscatine facing Linn-Mar in this Class 4A District 4 action. 4-2 Linn-Mar Lions against the 1-5 Muscatine Muskies.
Hopefully we can get some pressure on him. We're working hard.
Yeah, in the long game to Knipper, they almost had the sack. Or in the shotgun, White to his left. Play action, or rolls left. He's got a receiver in the out route, open, caught, and that'll be another big gain for Linn-Mar through the air. Brandon Rouse, number 5, with the catch there. And that's just a levels route where all 3 receivers on that side each take a level, kind of making the Muscatine defenders have to make a decision.
Right, and then Rangel was able to put some pressure on him, but not get there. But he was really going hard.
2 receivers right, tight end right for Linn-Mar, or in the shotgun. So we might have another timeout here.
I don't think any doubt this is the best offense we've faced all year long.
Yeah, some red zone defense, getting an opportunity here to match up. The field shrinks, the windows get tighter. So this is a challenge for the offense as well.
It's a gut check for us with 1:40 if we can keep them off the board. Only down 2 at halftime. It's anybody's ball game.
Muscatine did receive the kickoff, so Linn-Mar will receive the opening kickoff in the second half. And that was always, Chuck, something that my coaches told me. Steve Ryan was classic to say, if you're in a rivalry game, I remember us playing University of Sioux Falls with number 2 and number 5 against one another that week. And our goal was, we're underdogs here. If we can be within a 2-score game at half, we can feel pretty good about ourselves. That's kind of a rule of thumb I've always been taught.
Yeah, I think, hopefully we can keep them off the board here. And we've moved the ball well enough. We just got to capitalize on any one of those drives.
So 3 wide receivers right for Linn-Mar. Orr drops back to pass. He tries to get out to the flat. He's successful. It's caught by number 84, Josh Steffen. He's going to be close to the first down, just short.
Tac Portillo was the first guy on the tackle. And Campio was also on there for the stop.
So that'll be a gain of about 4. So it'll be, 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 8-yard line. Or throws it out. Oh, almost an interception opportunity there. Great play from Prince Wee from his cornerback position.
He read that great and was solid tackle. Broke down nicely.
Read it perfectly. And like you said, trusted his instincts. So they'll make it 3rd and 5 from the 12-yard line.
And that was perfect because they didn't make anything and the clock kept running.
We're just under 40 seconds to play here in the first half.
Big defensive stop right here.
Or back to pass. He's got some pressure. He's trying to buy some time, and he'll just throw it away.
Great defensive effort there. Nick Peterson, 45, was on him. 32, Rangel was there, so really good job. 18 seconds left.
So that'll make it 4th and 5. And it'll be interesting to see if Linn-Mar brings their field goal unit on the field here. I don't see the orange shoes yet, and now they're coming on. The kicker, Alex Cochran, number 31, the 6-foot senior.
He's only tried 2 all year. He made 1.
The left footer. This will be a 35-yard field goal. That's what we're looking at here.
Muskies call a timeout.
And that's a good timeout from Muscatine.
Put a little pressure on him, try and ice him a little bit on this cold night. But that was
he doesn't take much to ice on a night where it's 38 degrees with the wind chill.
That was really a nice play where we drove Orr out of bounds because we had like 3 or 4 guys really pushing him hard. He had nobody.
And there was nobody open downfield. Great coverage.
No, that's the best defensive play we had all night long, and that's what we needed. So we'll check out this field goal, but we're going to be maybe 3 scores, but at least it's a field goal.
And sometimes after a timeout like this, I know in my experience as a special teams coordinator, this is when you contemplate a fake, especially when you can still get a first down right here.
Yeah, it could be.
Because you got to think with a short clock like this, Muscatine might be going for the block. So that's something that I know that Coach Joey Krieger and the staff on the Muscatine sideline will be at least cognizant of.
Oh, yeah, they've covered everything. I know that.
In fact, the kicker's running off the field, and the Linn-Mar offense is coming back on.
Yep, now.
Got some ultimate chess play going on right now. The play clock hasn't started yet either, which it just kicked on.
So hopefully we're back in our goal line defense and ready to roll.
3 wide receivers right, and Muscatine's going to use another time. No, Linn-Mar's using the timeout. This is.
As you say.
Or no, Muscatine is. Okay.
One coach is moving the pawn, and the other one is coming back.
Yeah. These are always fun.
Well, this has been a real enjoyable
first
half to watch. Like I say, pretty error-free, penalty-free, and everybody's playing good, hard-nosed defense, both teams. And I just really think this is one of the better halves of the season.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. Like you said, it's been clean, minimal penalties, minimal mistakes. And both offenses really actually running the ball or running their offenses fairly efficiently. It's just Linn-Mar has been able to get it into the end zone. They're 2 trips down. That's where Muscatine has fallen just short.
We've seen that tune before, haven't we?
Yeah, and I don't know. That's always a tricky thing to break. But once you do break through, it typically starts to snowball from that point. That's what Muscatine's just looking to do. Bunch right here formation for Linn-Mar with Orr in the shotgun, White in the backfield. And there's the skinny post, and that's going to be a touchdown for Linn-Mar. Zaradnik with another touchdown on the season.
We had a guy right there, but that was Orr threw a dart right there and hit him right on his numbers.
Yep, hit him in a good spot, and Zaradnik able to reel it in even with a defender on his back. PAT is up for Cochran, and it's good. So Linn-Mar taking a 21-0 lead with 13 seconds to go here in the first half. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Sports on the Discover Muscatine Muskie Sports Network. With their effort, they actually have had a nice job on offense. They've just been unable to get across the goal line.
We've had 3 good drives. Again, not capitalizing on them by scoring.
Go short, fielded at the 21 by Diego Rangel. And so Muscatine will have it 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They didn't want any part of our 2 return guys with just 13 seconds left.
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't either. They've proven to be dangerous on their 2 of their kickoff returns.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see if we just take a knee here or put her up.
Muscatine with 1 timeout remaining. Xander Morgan gives it to Nimley. Nimley's in the secondary, and he'll get a gain of 11 yards, which will stop the clock with 7.5 seconds to go here.
Good blocking on the right side of the line. He was through the line without being touched, and that's bad news for the opponent when he has that ball.
So the clock's going to wind. Muscatine able to get the snap off. We do have a flag, however. Must be a false start.
It looked like it.
Offsides.
Okay. Get one more play.
Yeah, so there should be like 1.2 seconds left on the clock.
Even if not, it'd probably be an untimed.
Yeah, it is a defensive penalty, so we will get an untimed down.
Yep.
So just trying to figure out the...
yeah, the wrong way.
Oh. So that's going to be half, since it is an offensive penalty. So it'll be halftime here at Linn-Mar Stadium. Muscatine trailing Linn-Mar 21-0. We'll be back with your halftime show presented by Toyota of Muscatine. We're going to take a 3-minute break. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network and Discover Muscatine. challenging game for your Charges there in the sophomore game, a 50-13 loss. But one thing you have to be really happy with is how hard your guys fought there in the second half after being down a few scores.
Yeah, that's all we talked about at halftime. Just said we have to win this half. We have to get better, and we did. It was nice to get a couple scores. It's been a while since we've done that. So
who are some guys that you're seeing that not just are continuing to grow as football players, but you're seeing start to step up in a leadership role on your team?
That is a huge thing for us right now. Mason Crabtree definitely is a vocal leader for us. He goes hard every single play. Nolan Recker, I'm trying to get him to be a vocal leader. He's a great leader on the field. But the biggest thing is with these guys is they need somebody. Right now they don't have a guy that's every day that leader. And so we're working to develop those guys.
Well, and that's not something that often exists in, sophomores who are, 14, 15, 16 years old. That's a skill set that sometimes doesn't develop until you're a little bit older and have a little bit more life experience. So having some experiences like they're having this year in football has to be really good. What are who are some guys who stood out from a play standpoint tonight for you?
On the defense, Parker Jameson did a great job. We had, Patrick Leffler down at the nose guard. Nathan Beatty does a great job for us every single down. He plays both sides of the ball and gives us everything he's got. Brock Garrison gave us a great game tonight. Those guys, you can always count on. They're not going to be vocal leaders, but they're going to be they're leaders on the field by their actions.
And this is a game that, we're joined again by Muscatine head sophomore coach Mike Truitt. And we're seeing in our community this game continue to develop. I had the pleasure of having your stepson on a YSF team this fall, and we're seeing more and more young men and girls gravitate to the youth sports. How important, in your opinion, as a high school coach, are the youth sports programs in developing your programs moving forward?
Oh, for sure. It's a huge part of it. Getting those guys out there, and I know by watching you every Sunday and going to practice and seeing you guys, to get those kids to love the game, to have fun while they're out there and learn the basic fundamentals. That's what, we're trying to do here at Muscatine as the freshmen. That program develops the basic fundamentals of what Muscatine football is. Then as they move to sophomores, we take it a little step further. But the whole way, everything's the same. Everybody's calling this the same thing. We use the same terminology.
Well, I know that was a big thing when I was one of the 8th grade coaches, Coach Mueller. That was my second year at 8th grade. That was the first year that he gave us a basic version of the high school playbook.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to go off of this. So we started integrating the offensive and defensive terminology at the 7th and 8th grade level, so that there was that shrinking of the learning gap once they got to the high school level.
When a kid hears a term, he knows what that means. From the time he was in 7th grade, 8th grade, till he's a senior. Yeah, that term always means the same thing, and that's huge.
Yeah, they're not playing, X in one offense, and then there are 5 when they get to be a senior.
For sure.
They know they're that same way by the time they get all the way through. And
it's important.
And you can see your team is growing as season has gone. Unfortunately, coming up against a pretty good Linn-Mar sophomore team.
Yeah, they were. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't play them last year. They have about 5 guys, I think, that are playing up at the varsity level. So we didn't know how to take it. I think we were shell-shocked at the beginning as well. Just that, we gave up, I think, 3 scores on 3 plays, just to the outside and gone. And we're really having to focus on when something bad happens, whether it's a score or a turnover, not to just fold the tent and say the night's over.
Yeah, that's something, and those are unfortunately sometimes you have to learn those through going through it, and your young men are learning valuable lessons that can pay off, as they move forward, and hopefully next week, as you get to play at home, and next week is actually YSF night, so we'll see some of those youngsters on the field next week at home. As we're very happy to have Mike Truitt, your head sophomore football coach, joining us today at halftime. Mike, I got to ask you, big Hawkeye fan, what's the prediction for tomorrow?
It's going to be a good Hawk victory.
Are you going?
Yo.
Me too. Me too.
I might go.
Me too.
Come on, man. Come on. I'll be there at noon.
It'll be a fun night just down the road. here in Iowa City. And are you a Sunday guy? Who's your NFL team?
Chicago. So we're off this week.
You got the
getting ready to go to
post
New Orleans.
London bye.
Yes.
So I grew up the son of a Bears fan. My mom is a big Bears fan. So
my
subsequently,
dad,
I rebelled and am not a Bears fan.
Yeah, my dad was growing up as a Bears fan. Now him and my mom are both. That's what they do on Sundays.
Well, that's always fun where you can have that. We have an Eagles and Vikings fan in our household, so we have a big rivalry this weekend. So
gotcha.
That's the big game. Mike Truitt, again, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to take a 2-minute break. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network, presented by Discover Muscatine. And welcome back to Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar. It's the Toyota of Muscatine halftime show at Linn-Mar Stadium as Muscatine trails Linn-Mar 21-0 at the end of the first half. We're joined by Ben Nitzel, sophomore coach and assistant for the Muskie football program. Ben, that was one of the better halves of offense we've seen from the Muskies, just unable to cash in kind of in the red zone.
Yeah, certainly didn't have much trouble moving the ball and getting it up and down the field, but just need to kind of punch that ball in there and get those points on the board psychologically and obviously to be able to win.
And defensively, we're seeing Linn-Mar philosophically very similar to kind of Muscatine and how they spread the field out and they'll run the ball, but also try to get the ball out into their playmakers' hands. We're seeing a pretty talented quarterback in Orr for Linn-Mar tonight.
Yeah, very good quarterback, and and to be honest, he's gotten some really nice help from his receivers too. He's got some big targets out there. They've been making some nice catches, catching the ball on the move and being able to get some yards after catch, and so kind of a complete package for them. And I thought our defense played pretty well. They put together some nice drives, and getting that touchdown there at the end was tough.
How much is having the experience of being able to come back like you did last week against Pleasant Valley, that's got to be sitting in the minds thinking, we're capable of this, so we can just turn the page here in the second half and try to get back in?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to leave too much to the end. I mean, obviously, same thing with PV. It was a tremendous comeback last week, but you hate to have to come back that far.
Right.
Just didn't probably ran out of time. And so, I think there's certainly a boost of confidence. That's certainly a locker room that knows what they're capable of, knows they've got playmakers all over the field. They're one snap away from putting a 7 on the board, which is a really nice place to be if you don't feel like you have to grind it all the way down. So that's encouraging for them. And I think also defensively, they Muscatine seems to know what Linn-Mar is doing, and a couple breakdowns here and there. Otherwise, a couple of times where you almost had them off the field would have prevented some points. So I think they're very capable of having a big second half and get themselves right back into it.
From the amateur eye, it looks like Nimley is as healthy as he's been all season tonight. He's running hard. In 3-touchdown game, you're still able to run the ball. You don't have to abandon that part of the offense.
Oh no, I don't think so. Especially because you've got such first of all, in high school you get stoppages after the first downs, right? So it's not the same as the pro game where the clock's going to keep running every time you're running the ball. And then secondly, you've got guys who can make big plays. Tim Nimley doesn't have to be a 3-yard guy where you're going to. We might score with Tim, but it's 21 plays and 14 minutes later. So I think absolutely going to keep him in. And you may want to spread it out a little bit and throw the ball, but then that should hopefully open up some inside run opportunities for you to be able to, bust some big runs. He's had a couple runs. He's been able to take off and get some big yardage. So certainly I don't think it's time to abandon the running game.
Ben, thanks again so much for joining us here at halftime, presented by Toyota of Muscatine. Packers this weekend. I know you're a big Green Bay guy. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel better. I felt nervous last week about Dallas, and they took care of business there. So we'll see Monday night, Detroit. It's nice to watch back everybody play, and then hopefully get a big W on Monday and keep cruising.
It's kind of fun having the Detroit Lions be good again, or better. Maybe not good, but better. I know as an NFC North guy, you're not a huge fan of them. But
no, I hate everybody in the North.
But it's nice to see them. And strength and conditioning coach for the Lions, Muscatine's own Josh Schuler.
Yeah,
So
tremendous kid. Now he's a grown man, but great guy, and happy for him to have success. And so really cool to follow his career and what he was able to do, and tremendously hard work in the weight room. So not surprised to see him continue on with that, and hopefully he has a lot of success this year, but just not Monday.
Sounds good. Ben, thanks so much. We're going to step away for 2 minutes. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network, presented by Discover Muscatine. And we're back at Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar and Chuck Van Heck here as Linn-Mar leads Muscatine 21-0. It's the Toyota of Muscatine halftime show on Discover Muscatine and the Muskie Sports Network. Chuck, some other scores around the area. Wilton trailing Mediapolis 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. So the Beavers getting a little bit behind. And then it looks like West Liberty is leading Louisa Muscatine 27-6 in the third quarter.
Well, Meeple's only lost the one game, and West Liberty's won about 3 in a row, so they're rolling along pretty good too. So those are two good area teams.
And as the Muskies look to have a strong second half here against Linn-Mar, Linn-Mar led by 3 touchdown passes from Orr here in the first half. That's been the offense. Muscatine has held them to 2 fourth down conversions that they've been unable to hold, and Linn-Mar's been able to punch it in on both of those fourth downs in their own red zone. So Muscatine looking to come out on defense as Linn-Mar will return this kick to open the second half. And as we just talked with Ben Nitzel and Mike Truitt with the Muskies, Muscatine looking to have a strong finish to this second half. They have been in the red zone twice, but have been unable to come away with points.
Yeah, it's a deceiving score, I believe. We've moved the ball well. We could easily have 2 touchdowns. You know that you're not going to shut out Linn-Mar with their passing game. And then they got enough running with White, so they have a good offensive football team. So you have to score to beat Linn-Mar, and we've had the opportunities. And, I don't care what you say, this game's not over. Remember last week we were in dire straits for quite a while, and then we made some breaks, and hopefully that can happen again. But Linn-Mar's probably the best football team we've played, I think, this year, and certainly he's the best quarterback. So we have to get after it, and we're capable of doing that. And we'll see how it goes, but it's deceiving right now, and
And Muscatine really just looking for some takeaways, getting into that turnover margins, a way that they were able to get some comeback points against Pleasant Valley last week and earlier on in the season as well, something they've had a knack for. In that Davenport Central game, we saw a big interception return for a touchdown that got Muscatine going in that second half. And it's something that this metro area has seen just last night. Davenport Central had a huge lead over Cedar Rapids, Washington. Washington scores a 36-point second half and was able to get out of there with their first win of the season.
That shouldn't just happen, but it does. The one thing I think defensively we need to do is make some adjustments if we can get some pressure on Orr like we had a couple times down on that last drive. Then we have an opportunity. But if he can sit back there and wait for somebody to get open, it's a very difficult situation.
So as we get ready for this kickoff presented by Channel Seed and Matt Fletcher, Christian Aguirre to kick for the Muskies, and he'll kick it deep. It's going to bounce just short of the 10-yard line, and it's taken by and Linn-Mar has broken the first wall. I can't see the number of the young man. I believe that might have been Jerron Centers.
Can't tell. We had it well covered and we overran it, and then he had the opportunity to get some good yardage, and we had the opportunity to pin him down, and we just can't let this continue if we're going to get back in this football game.
That was John Steffen with the return for the Lions, and they'll take over right at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, as we start the third quarter. Orr's going to throw it out to the flat. That's caught. That's Knipper again.
Tia had a shot at
Trey
him.
Martin.
Tia had a shot at him. He couldn't miss him. He slowed him down. And then I think, I'll check my chart here, but I think Smelter then got him out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like Teagan was able to force him out.
Yep.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. Gain of 10 on that first down play. Bunch right. Orr's in the shotgun. He's got Martin wide left. He's going to pass. He's got a crosser. That's Knipper. And that's going to be incomplete. Good defense there from Reed Olsis.
He did a real nice shot there, and he stripped the ball and goes incomplete.
So it'll make it 2nd and 10 from the Muskie 40-yard line.
So we got him behind the chains, and hopefully we can keep it this way and get the football back.
And we can see Linn-Mar maybe taking a little bit more time in between snaps. Or will come out under center, bunch formation left. Little toss here to White. White cuts inside. And he's going to cut back, and he's got a lot of green in front of him. Touchdown, Linn-Mar. No flags on the play.
Well, it was an excellent run. We had him turned in and just missed a couple tackles, and you can't do that with that type of running back.
And Bryson White able to break one. It's a 40-yard touchdown run for the senior running back.
You know it's a problem when you get down and you just can't give up. You just got to come out and play hard.
So Cochran in for the PAT. The kick's up, and it's good. So Linn-Mar takes the lead 28-0 as we just are underway here in the third quarter. 11:26 to play as the Muskies trail the Lions. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network. And we're back at Linn-Mar Stadium. Some of our broadcast sponsors, Boonies on the Avenue, Excel Auto Glass, and Carrie Dennison for City Council. As we enter the third quarter here, 11:26 to play as the Muskies trail Linn-Mar 28-0. Cochran to kick off for the Lions. And that's going to go to Prince Wee, who fields it at the 5. He goes to the right sideline. He's got a seam. There he goes. He's got a good lane. Good return for Prince Wee up over the 40, about to the 43-yard line. And, Chuck, there it is again, the dangerous returners for Muscatine.
We've got great return guys. They have great speed, and they have good natural ability as far as cutting and those types of things. So hopefully we can take advantage of those guys as we have many times this fall.
Looks like Sam Wieskamp checks into the ball game at quarterback. Sam drops back to pass. He's going to throw it deep, and that's going to be... Oh, is it intercepted? I cannot tell.
I think it is.
I haven't seen the official signal yet.
No.
Yep, and now... And that is going to be an interception. So Linn-Mar, with their 14th interception on the season, intercepts that first down pass.
That safety traveled about 30 yards and just got there at the same time that we were going to have our receiver catch that football. And you didn't see him, Sam didn't see him coming. Sam actually threw a pretty good ball there. That was a great break by the safety.
He tried to throw it right there in that hole in the cover 2, and or in that deep coverage, and that safety just made a nice play. Eli Gay was the intended receiver. So Linn-Mar will come back out on offense. We have a new quarterback into the ball game, I believe, for the Lions. No, Moore's back in. It just looked like he was a little bit different delivery, so he must have just changed it up on that pass.
That was a nice pattern. They take their wide guy and bring him down about 15 and swing the back out there at about 5 and make a nice little play.
So gain of 5 there on first down. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the Linn-Mar 43-yard line.
I think it's imperative that if we fight hard here and keep them off the board.
Or under center. He's going to give it to White. He's met in the backfield, and he's able to bounce it out for try and maybe gain a yard or 2. Tongan Deason blowing up that play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Deason just slammed him right back into him. Couldn't get his arms around him, of course, and he bounced off and gained maybe a yard or so. But that's played really well defensively.
So I'll make it 3rd and 3 for Linn-Mar at the 45-yard line. 9:54 to play here in the third quarter. Muscatine trailing 28-0. Toss to the right to White. And he'll get the first down. Quentin Middaugh in on the tackle.
Kind of a student body right play. And we played it pretty well, but it's hard to stop him for just a short gain.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Muscatine 44-yard line.
Once they get outside on that play, it's hard to stop him from less than 5.
And a patient run there by White, too. He allowed his blocks to kind of set up, knowing he only needed 3. Here's the snap or draw to White. Nick Peterson had him in the backfield, just unable to bring him down.
Yeah, Nick had him for a nice loss and just couldn't get him down, and all of a sudden it's a big gainer.
So that'll be a gain of 23 yards or 21 yards for White on the draw play. There is a flag, however. We're going to have a block in the back against the Lions, so that big run will come back here.
That's about the only second break of the evening for us, so that's something that we needed. You know, I looked at our statistics, and you have about 32 guys listed all over as far as statistics, and there's only about 6 seniors listed there. So we're playing a bunch of juniors, against mostly a senior football team in Linn-Mar. So we'll see how our younger guys do. It's good. They need this battle.
3 wide receivers right for the Lions. Orr in the shotgun with White to his left. Orr drops back to pass. He's throwing it down the middle.
That was a really nice defensive play there.
Jorge Ocampo with a nice play from his safety position. Able to work through on Martin, the receiver, and knock that ball down.
This is the type of battle that we want out of our guys. They haven't given up on this drive. They're really playing hard, and let's keep it up here.
So Orr's in the shotgun. She drops back to pass. Screenplay. And, Tongan Deason read that from the get-go as well as Sean Brown. And White had nowhere to go. And, honestly, Orr kind of threw that thing into danger.
Yep, we had heat on him. Of course, you're supposed to, and it's a screen. But Alsis was in there and on him good. And then, like you say, old TD was smelled that one out, and it was a very nice play.
Yeah, Orr a little bit threw that up for grabs. That's when maybe in the film room on tomorrow morning they'll tell him to throw that at the feet.
Yep.
Just get it on the ground. 3 receivers right for Orr in the shotgun. Play action. He's got Martin down the middle. Martin is going to have the first down. So another long third down conversion for Linn-Mar.
We play good pass defense, but we give them a big cushion, and it's tough to stop that then.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Linn-Mar working its way into Muscatine territory. Orr drops back to pass. He's going to swing it out to White. White's got the ball in the flat. And he's going to be close to the first down as he's forced out of bounds by Tak Bortia and Tegan Schmelzer.
We do a great job of tackling. But again, that cushion gives them about 10 yards before we can get to him. But I don't know if we can play it any other way.
Yeah, I didn't see if it looked like it was man coverage or not, because when it is man, sometimes that back out of the backfield can be tougher to defend because you're asking a middle linebacker to cover a lot of ground there and run through a lot of interference.
Yeah, Linn-Mar puts a lot of pressure on everybody.
2 receivers left and right, doubles formation. Here comes Martin in motion. They give it to Martin on the jet sweep. Martin turns the corner. He's got an alley, and he's going to break another tackle. And a gain of 15 or 16 on that play. And Trey Martin will have a first down. It will be 1st and goal, Linn-Mar, just outside the 5-yard line of Muscatine.
You've got to give them credit. They block really well. And once they get cut inside our edge, we just couldn't have anybody there.
And their receivers do a nice job of blocking downfield.
Yeah, they just have a good overall offensive football team.
Orr in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 to his left. White in his backfield, right to his left. Here comes Martin in motion, snap, and they're going to give it to White. And he's met by the interior triangle of Thomas, Rangel, and Deason.
Deason stacked it up really good. He's done a great job inside there.
And really, to have as many tackles as he does, it's pretty remarkable because that defensive position, that's not his primary job to tackle people. It's to take up blockers and let the other guys run free. And that's what he did nicely on that play.
Right. Most of his good plays are not the tackle. It's to take out the blockers, and he's done a great job of that. Keep those linebackers free.
He commands at least a double team on every play. Sometimes he even gets a triple team. So 2nd and goal for the Lions at the 4-yard line of Muscatine. Or with 3 receivers to his right. Oh, that's a high snap.
Get on it.
And that is still a loose ball. It's still out there loose. And it looks like White was able to recover it. So it will be Linn-Mar ball, but that's a big loss. That's a loss of about 12 yards. Actually 16 yards.
Disa was one of the guys trying to get the football. Like we said, he's a big, strong guy, and he's pretty quick. He was right there, back there with Orr right away.
So 3rd and goal for the 21-yard line. And that kind of changes your philosophy here a little bit if you're Linn-Mar.
Let's hope for a big play here.
Three receivers right. The snap is to Orr. And he's going to take a shot to the end zone, and he's got a man open. And that's another touchdown for the Lions defense.
They had it well blocked. He had a lot of time to find a receiver.
And that's Zaradnik again, their leading receiver.
He runs some great patterns.
Yeah, that was a little post corner route where he got Wee's hips turned and was able to get back out to the outside.
Yeah, I think we've got some of the best defensive backs around, and they're just having a difficult time tonight covering their receivers.
So Cochran on to kick the extra point. Snap is up, and the kick is good. So Linn-Mar takes a lead. It's 35-0 as we are 6:12 to play here in the 3rd quarter. The clock will begin to run as a continuous clock, Chuck. So that's another factor here for the Muskies is when you get to this type of a situation, the ability, we're going to keep it right here, the ability to get cut into that lead shrinks because that clock doesn't stop moving.
You don't realize how fast it goes until you get a running clock, and, you know, a quarter's over before you even know it. This was, I knew we were going to have a difficult time this evening because there's such a good football team, but I did not believe a 35-0 score would be with 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
And you can't give up if you're a team when you're in this position because you've got an opportunity to score and stop the clock again and keep rolling. And honestly, one of the more dangerous aspects of the Muscatine attack is this kickoff return team.
Right. You know, and we've got 2 games left, and there's no reason why we can't, win those 2 ball games as long as we keep a great attitude.
So Cochran will kick off. The lefty squibs one down, again trying to get it to the up back, but they let it roll. And Prince Wee's going to have it. And he's trying to get to that outside, and he is. He does get out to the outside. And actually, this is Eli Gay.
Now
and
he's
he comes
going.
Back,
he's
and
going.
Got a lot of green. And he fights his way over the 50-yard line.
I don't know who threw that block down there, but it was really a crusher. The poor kid from Linn-Mar is still on the field, and we hope he's going to be fine. But that was a tremendous block. And we ran about 200 yards to get that done.
Yeah, and that's the kind of block that I know, and I can see Linn-Mar coaches having a conversation with the official. There is a point of emphasis this year to try and eliminate what's called a blindside block. And I didn't see the setup, and I'd have to go back and watch the film before
I saw the block, and it was not a blindsider. He had a good block on him. It was good, clean play.
And how they police that and how they are enforcing that is something that we obviously, the safety of athletes in this game is so important, and hopefully that young man is okay.
Absolutely, the safety is the most important thing in this game of football, and people have done tremendous things to make this a safe game, and we hate to see anybody hurt, and definitely hope this young man is fine.
And the Muskies will have the ball at the 48-yard line of the Linn-Mar, and the youngster's going to jog off the field under his own power, which is good to see.
Well, hopefully we can get a nice drive here. It helps the momentum. It helps the feelings of kids. Gives them a good feeling.
That was Clayton Muzinski, the one of the outstanding defensive players for Linn-Mar, who was the injured Lion on the field on that play, on that kickoff return.
You know, he's one tough kid. He's got all kinds of tackles and assists for the season.
And so the Muskies will take over 1st and 10 from the Lion 48-yard line.
Morgan's back at quarterback.
So Xander Morgan in at quarterback. And we've got Hardy, Gay, and then it looks like they actually did the illegal substitution.
They needed to do this earlier.
So it'll be 1st and 5 as Xander Morgan leads the Muskie offense. Morgan pulls out the read and he throws it to Eli Gay for a gain of about 4. So nice run pass option there for the Muskies.
It's great to, get Gay, get him the football anytime. So hopefully we can do that a little bit more because he is so dangerous.
At receiver for the Muskies is Hardy, Tia, Gay, McDaniel, and then actually Gay or Wee is running off the field with Nimley in the backfield.
Ball's on the ground.
And that's a fumble, and it looks like it is still up for grabs.
I'm sure Linn-Mar's got that football.
But the way they're reacting, I think Muscatine was able to still recover the ball. So
somebody stole it.
Yep. So that first down that's actually going to be a first down recovery as the Muskies dodge a bullet there.
We actually got a break.
So the tempo increases as Morgan runs the quarterback position. They give it to Nimley. Nimley breaks a tackle. He's got some green to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Inside the 10-yard line, Tim Nimley. A gain of about 36 yards for the junior.
That was an excellent block downfield to give him a few more yards. And I think that was Hardy that got that block. So
Zach Hardy, a complete wide receiver, gives such effort in the running game as well as he does in the passing game. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. It's the First National Bank red zone as the Muskies looking to score. Morgan gives it to Nimley as he fights forward for maybe a gain of 1.
Nimley's got to be close to 100 yards, I would think.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think he was close in the first half. I don't have my stat sheet here in front of me.
Right. But let's get this in the end zone.
Got some man coverage on the outside with the inside leverage trying to take away that slant to Hardy, who's wide left. Morgan's going to keep this, and he fumbled the ball. And Linn-Mar recovers this one. So a turnover in the red zone as Linn-Mar recovers. And Muscatine, again, is able to not score any points on another good, promising drive.
Is that 2 or 3 in the red zone? It's 2 for sure.
This tonight or this season?
Tonight.
Yeah, I believe that's the 3rd time into the red zone for the Muskies.
I think
tonight.
so.
And we mentioned the turnover margin at halftime when we were hoping the Muscatine would be victorious on that side in the second half. But so far, Linn-Mar +2.
And the first half was so well played as far as fumbles and whatever.
So Orr will come out with a 35-point lead. And they actually go to a wildcat look. And that's Trey Martin who takes the direct snap. Or excuse me, that was Cameron Walker who took the direct snap on that play. Quentin Middaugh with the tackle. So Linn-Mar maybe looking at more of like a power running game here to try and run some clock down.
Yeah, they'll run the clock down. And Middaugh had a real nice hit there.
He's a tough kid.
He really is.
Another one of the Muskies that you'll see on the wrestling mat this winter.
We're looking forward to some great wrestling.
It's hard to believe that's not too far away.
That's right.
No, Iowa State and Iowa had their first wrestling practices yesterday. Walker again takes that direct snap. He's back over the middle, and he fumbles the ball.
I think we have it.
And it looks like Muscatine does recover. So trading turnovers here. Tegan Smelzer stripping it and recovering it. So Muscatine gets the ball with great field position here at the 30-yard line.
Reed Alsis recovered that fumble. So nice to see.
The defense has fought hard all year long, and the offense, as Sam Wieskamp comes out at quarterback again for the Muskies. So Hardy to the left, Nimley in the backfield. Sam takes the shotgun snap. Sam looking to maybe make an adjustment here. He's got Gay, McDaniel, and to his right.
Play clock's getting down there.
And Sam's got nowhere to go, and so they'll sack him, and that should be a flag. They're holding up the quarterback, and the whistle blew. But the forward progress will bring the ball all the way back up to the 40-yard line. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was a little extracurricular there after the
me,
whistle.
if you're going to spot it 8 yards ahead of where they threw a kid down, you may want to look at a flag there. But that's just me. So Sam Wieskamp and the Muscatine offense with 2nd and 15 from the Linn-Mar 36-yard line. He drops back to pass. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to scramble. And that's going to be a gain of about 2 for Sam with no one open downfield and some good pass rush from Linn-Mar.
Pretty hard to pass now with Linn-Mar's going to set
pinned
back there.
Yeah.
They're going to stream some alignment, but they're going to play 5 or so defensive backs back there.
Well, right now they've been able to get pressure with just 4, so they're able to still have 7 back there in coverage.
Yeah.
Wieskamp gets Muscatine set. 2 receivers right, 2 to his left. Nimley to his right in the backfield. Sam drops back to pass. He throws it out to Gay in the wing, who drops the ball, so the pass will be incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 13 for Muscatine.
That was a well-thrown ball. He got hit as he tried to catch it, but usually he catches those footballs.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football on the Muskie Sports Network. And we are back here at Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar and Chuck Van Heck on the call as we are brought to you by our broadcast sponsors, Kerry Dennison for City Council, Avenue Subs, Nutrition Outlet, Boonies on the Avenue, Excel Auto Glass, and Bosch Pest Control. So make sure you stay tuned for our post-game show brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. So it's 4th and 13 as the Muskies look to try and convert here on this big 4th down. Wieskamp at quarterback. And that's a low snap. Sam has the ball. And he shovels it forward. It'll be an incomplete pass. And so that will be a turnover on downs for the Muskies. And the ball will come back to the 33-yard line.
Our defense is on the field quite a bit here and getting tired, so hopefully they can keep battling like they have been.
Muscatine trailing 35-0 here in the 4th quarter at Linn-Mar Stadium in Marion, Iowa. It's District 4 action in Class 4A. The 4-2 Linn-Mar Lions lead Muscatine, who's 1-5 on the season. Muscatine will return home next week to take on Iowa City West. or under center for the Muskies, or for the Lions, excuse me. He gives it to White, who's met in the backfield by Deason, and he's able to bounce and gain another yard. Reese Olsis on the tackle.
And again, Smeltzer was on that tackle along with Reed.
This Muscatine defense continuing to fly to the football.
You know, we've got 2 games left, and they're both at home sweet home, so that'll be a big help for us.
Now into the ball game at quarterback is number 12, McCade Jelinek. He's under center. He's going to give it to the fullback, who spins off the first tackle. And that's going to be, it looked like Cameron Walker on the ball carrier. Gabe Guerrero, excuse me.
Toga, Disa just stacked that up again and shred everybody so the people behind him can get those tackles. I think he's just done an outstanding job tonight.
Yeah, really the defensive line as a whole has played pretty well tonight.
They've done a great job on the run. They've had a little trouble putting pressure on passing, but you can't do both.
Rory Smock and Sean Brown joining him on that front 3. That's a high snap over the head. And the ball is still loose. And it's hard to tell who got that. Muscatine does have the ball, so they will get the ball on that fumble recovery after another high snap as they'll take over at the Linn-Mar 23-yard line. Sean Brown with the recovery.
And again, Toga was great back there as soon as the snap was over his head. He's playing his heart out.
And you think, too, as a center, you've got 315 pounds coming right at you. That can mess up your snap timing, too, if you're not accustomed to that pressure. Xander Morgan in a quarterback. He's going to give it to Nimley. So that will be second and 12 now after the loss of 2 on first down.
We got to block that outside left tackle over here.
Nimley to the right, 3 receivers right. Morgan, he's got a slant
wide
there.
open.
And that's either incomplete. Yeah, the catch was not completed. It looks like that's Prince Wee, who was lined up in the slot, unable to secure the catch.
We had him wide open right there.
Yeah, really nice throw from Xander.
Yeah, and we just got to make that play. We're very capable of doing that.
So Xander Morgan in the shotgun with doubles left and right. He's going to give it to Nimley. He tries to cut back to his left. He's got a lane. That's a good gain from Tim. On third down, that'll be a gain of 7. So I'll make it 4th and 5 from just inside the 20, right at the 19-yard line in the First National Bank red zone.
That's another one of those 2-yard losses into a 4-yard gain by Nimley.
As the Muscatine offensive line continues to try to move the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers right for Morgan. And he gives it to Nimley, who's got some open field. He cuts it back. First down. It'll be Muscatine ball at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Muskies.
Again, once he gets rolling, it's difficult to get him down, and that was a nice run. That was well blocked.
And so the first team defense coming back into the ball game as the Linn-Mar coaching staff trying to preserve the shutout and keep the continuous clock going here. So Xander Morgan, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. He gives it to Nimley, who's going to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Muskies. Tim Nimley.
That's a very good series for us. I know that Linn-Mar's probably playing some subs, but we need to have our confidence build up for the offense, and that's going to be helpful.
So Rory Smock on to kick the extra point.
Since Smock started kicking, it's 4 out of 5. He's doing a good job.
Xander Morgan on to hold. Sam Wieskamp, your long snapper. Smock with the kick up. And it's good. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football on Discover Muscatine and the Muskie Sports Network.
Channel Seed knows that farmers are never off the clock, and neither are they. Anybody can sell you seed. Only a Channel Seedsman gives you everything you need to make the most of it. See your local Channel Seedsman, Matt Fletcher in Muscatine. Channel Seed is a proud sponsor of Muskie Sports.
Our company is to serve our clients with the most efficient and courteous service available.
People in our community, when they ask, who are we going to get for pest control, they just call Bosch.
Remember, insects or pests, call the best. Bosch Pest Control.
Welcome back to Linn-Mar Stadium. Joel Krausar and Chuck Van Heck as Muscatine gets on the scoreboard, trailing Linn-Mar 35-7 as the Muskies' Christian Aguirre comes out to kick off. And Chuck, do we see an onside kick here?
I think we probably will try it, but we won't.
And Aguirre kicks it deep, and he touched it, and that ball is going to go out of bounds at the 9 or 8 yard line. So that's a big break for Muscatine, as Linn-Mar will be pinned back deep inside their own territory to start this series.
With that touchdown, I think Nimley's got 36 points now for the season, so he's up there maybe in the top 20 in scoring in 4A.
Yeah, and the running back continues to impress, and that touchdown also stops the continuous clock. And so we'll go back to traditional clock rules here as Muscatine looking to maybe create another turnover here and get back on the board. So 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line for Linn-Mar. McCade Jelinek still in a quarterback for the Lions. And he turns around and hands it off for a big loss. Talk Portilla. And there's another fumble. And Muscatine has it inside the 5-yard line. Talk Portilla with the strip. And it looks like, is that Reed Olsis again with the recovery?
I
or
think
is
so.
that,
I can't tell, but I think so.
it looks like maybe Talkport got on it too. I can't tell from that far corner. But the Muscatine defense, again, giving their offense a chance to score here inside the 5-yard line.
Tack Portilla is just an outstanding tackler.
There's just no quit in that young man. And a lot of these young men on the Muscatine offense and defense. I remember having Talkport in 8th grade. He was on the other team. We had the draft for players, and he was the one that we all wanted, and we went on the other team because he's such a tenacious competitor and such an intelligent and hardworking young man. Xander Morgan in a quarterback. Actually, Reed Olsis in little belldozer type formation that we used to see in Oklahoma as the 6'4" junior checks in at quarterback.
Yeah, we got the big guys in there. Let's get it in the end zone.
And they give it to Nimley, trying to pound it in, and he gets a gain of 2. So it's 2nd and 3 from the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Olsis gives it to Nimley. He's got a big push. Touchdown, Tim Nimley. So Muscatine,
that was
2 quick scores here in the 4th quarter.
That was Disa blocking out there to spring him. So he's doing it all tonight.
And we have an injury timeout on the field. A Linn-Mar player is down. Let's step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to Muskie Football and watching it on Discover Muscatine and the Muskie Sports Network. we are back as the young man walks off the field under his own power for Linn-Mar, and Muscatine's Rory Smock comes on for the extra point. Low snap. Good hold from Morgan to get it up there, and he missed it. It just went wide left. The low snap, throwing off the timing there. So Muscatine scores another touchdown. They trail 35-13 here, 5:55 to play in the fourth quarter as the Muskies slowly but surely scratching right back into this game, Chuck.
Yeah, it's good to have us get back on the scoring train, and that's like I say, it's not so important tonight, but it's sure important for the next couple of games to come out of here with some confidence and some momentum in our offense. People don't understand how important on extra points and field goals, the snapper and the holder are just as important as the kicker.
Yeah, we saw an example of it on that play. Yeah. It's a play you take for granted because you see it work so routinely so many times, but it is a tremendously valuable part in the holder as well. We think back, Iowa, Penn State obviously play tomorrow in Kinnick Stadium, and you think back 11 years ago in 2008, the Daniel Murray kick to win that game. If you go back and look at it, Ryan Donahue actually had an amazing hold to go up and catch a high snap and get it down for that game-winning kick as Christian Aguirre kicks off in the channel seat from Matt Fletcher kickoff. And the onside kick is there, and it is recovered by Linn-Mar. So Muscatine trying to get the ball back on that onside kick.
Yeah, they've changed the rules so much on onside kicks. It's very difficult to have them successful, but if you don't, especially on turf, if you don't get that big bounce, you've got a problem. But it's great to try that.
Yeah, it used to be you didn't want to be in that front row because you were going to get smoked by somebody because they got a nice 10-yard head start at you, and they really made that play much safer.
That's one of the things.
I was a frontline guy on Hans' team, and that was people just coming to take you out. Under center is Linn-Mar, and Orr back into the ball game at quarterback, and he gives the ball to White. So the number one's back in for the Lions.
Yeah, they're not happy with giving up a couple of touchdowns, so they're going to be back in there. We talk about that rule change and other rule changes, and that's all come about because football coaches and administrators have heard people talk, and they pay attention to it.
Well, that's something in your career. You've spent time on some of those rules committees with the Iowa High School Athletic Association and the Iowa Girls Athletic Union, and that's something that safety usually is the driving factor for a lot of rule changes.
Number one. That's number one.
Or under center in the I formation for the Linn-Mar Lions is it's 2nd and 6. ISO play given to White, and he's going to gain about 4. Just shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for Linn-Mar with just under 5 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And TD was on the bottom of that pile again.
He's having a great football game.
He's just plugging away. Great to see.
So the junior, and really the whole defense for Muscatine has been on the field quite a bit this game, and their conditioning seems to be very, very good. They seem to still be playing fresh.
All mostly juniors.
Quarterback sneak for Orr. He's going to get the first down. Gain of about 3 on the sneak. Sanchez with the stop from his linebacker position. TD going to get a little bit of a break here as Trevor Barkalow checks into the ball game.
Yeah, he's played a lot of snaps tonight. A little water in him.
So with that first down, Linn-Mar will get a fresh play clock, and they'll start to work their way through. Again, another rule change that's happened. So many stadiums in the state now have the play clock so quarterbacks can see it. It used to be they had to watch that back judge to wait for the hand signals to know when to snap the ball in these clock situations.
I love the play clock.
We all do. I'm so happy for it. Now we just need a shot clock. Another fumble. Another fumble.
Yep.
And Muscatine recovers it again. So another turnover for Linn-Mar here in this fourth quarter. That's the 3rd fumble of the fourth quarter for Linn-Mar. And Muscatine's recovered it.
And that time it's their first offense, so good to see. Great to see.
Some of our fine broadcast sponsors: Boonies on the Avenue, Kerry Dennison for City Council, Excel Auto Glass, and Bosch Pest Control as Muscatine's offense is back on the field. And it looks like we're going to have a false start on the Muskies. As Xander Morgan in quarterback for Muscatine. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Make sure you stay tuned in for our post-game show brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water, where we'll give you the Guadalajara Mexican Restaurant Offensive Player of the Game, the Eastern Iowa Community College Defensive Player of the Game, and our Chicharros Tequila Bar and Grill Play of the Game. Here's the snap to Morgan. He gives it to Nimley. Nimley runs the ball up the middle. A gain of about 2.
You know, as an old lineman, former, I should say.
I'm getting up there in age, too.
When you have changes in quarterbacks, it's difficult with their cadence. So when you see it's a switch, it's one of the reasons why.
Muskie's back to pass. Eli Gay with the catch, and he breaks a tackle, and he's got Green in front of him. Eli Gay to the 40. He cuts it back across the 35. He's down to the 32-yard line of Linn-Mar. A big gain from last year's honorable mention All-State slot receiver, Eli Gay.
Again, he just doesn't go down, and once in a while he fumbles the football, but it's because 2 or 3 guys are on him and pounding him, and he just won't give up. Great job.
He wants to get into that end zone every time he touches the ball.
Yep.
Xander Morgan takes the snap, bobbles it a little bit, rolls out to his left, nothing there, and he's going to get tackled for a loss. It'll be second, and then we have a flag. Be interesting to see what this call is.
Yeah.
Might be 12 men on the field.
Yeah, it's pointing to Linn-Mar.
And then sportsmanlike conduct on Linn-Mar. I don't know if there was some sort of a shot under the pile or what have you that the official was able to see. But nevertheless, that's a big break for Muscatine. Not only is it a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down, but it puts them into the First National Bank red zone right there on the doorstep for another score. And if that isn't unsportsmanlike conduct on a player, that's essentially like a technical foul, and 2 of those in the game, you are removed and disqualified.
And then you don't play next game.
And that pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage as Xander Morgan unable to clear that defensive front.
That's where our linemen got to tee into those guys and keep them from getting their hands up.
Mark Gasson said that if you see their hands go up, that's when your hands go into their stomach as an offensive lineman.
Perfectly legal, of course.
Get their hands down. Then the give is to Nimley.
It's a rugby scrum when he runs.
So that'll be 3rd and 8 now for Muscatine. Inside right at the 15-yard line. Morgan back to pass. He gets it out to Gay, who breaks a tackle, and he's got Green in front of him. And Eli Gay, or is that Prince Wee? No, Eli Gay into the end zone for a touchdown.
He caught that ball, gave a good head fake. The guy didn't miss his tackle, and he's in the end zone.
So Muscatine capitalizing on these turnovers in the fourth quarter. And they might go for 2 here after they missed the extra point in the last go-around.
They might as well.
So it's 35-19, a minute 53 to play here in the fourth quarter. Low snap. They get it to Nimley. Nimley's trying to get to the goal line, and he's just short of the end zone, and the 2-point conversion will be no good.
I think he'd have been in with a good snap. It kind of messed up the timing, and he still almost got in.
So, Chuck, we're going to leave this here as we get ready for this kickoff. Obviously, this is another onside kickoff situation here for the Muskies. Really impressed with what I'm seeing from this Muscatine as far as resiliency here in the fourth quarter.
Well, like I said, we needed to do this. It's going to give everybody confidence to come home and play a great football game next Friday night against Iowa City West. And we've seen all year long where, we're 1-5, but we're probably the best 1-5 football team in 4A. People won't believe that, but that's what I really believe. And our kids have never quit, and they never will. So we'll look forward to some more football.
And that's part of the culture that's been constructed by Coach Jake Mueller and his staff. They put in so much work in the out-of-season program that you don't give up on a Friday night because you have so much of your time, literally blood, sweat, and sometimes tears invested into this. So Christian Aguirre will try to give the Muscatine offense another chance here with a successful onside kick.
Well, football is a kind of a special sport because you only get 9 games guaranteed, so it's a lot of work for 9 games.
He's going to try to kick into an open green space, and it does go out of bounds. So the Muskies, with that penalty, that ball will be brought out to the 35-yard line on the kick out of bounds. But I like that approach there because you got a little open space. Try to get your team to run under it. And not only do you recover the onside kick, but you recover it inside the 30-yard line of your opponent. So I understand and really appreciate the aggressive onside kick call there for the Muskies.
No, I think that was a great play, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
And so it'll be Linn-Mar ball at the 35, 1st and 10. A minute 53 to play here in the fourth quarter. Linn-Mar leading 35-19. Muscatine with all 3 timeouts. And they forced turnovers in the last 3 possessions. Orr in shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. White in the backfield. Sender in motion. Orr rolls out right, and he's going to throw, and that's going to be incomplete, so the clock will stop. Pass was intended for number 28, Bryson White, the running back. So Linn-Mar trying to throw the ball here, and they end up stopping the clock with the incompletion.
Diego Rangel had a real nice coverage there. Yeah, they want to get back out there, and they want to get a score, so we've got to play tough defense here.
So Orr breaks the huddle, 2 receivers right, 2 to his left, White in the backfield. Muscatine in their 3-4 defense. Here's the draw to White. Olsis again unable to secure the tackle. And that's going to be a first down on that draw play.
Olsis slowed him down, like you said. But he couldn't get the tackle, and so they got about 10 more yards.
So it'll be first down at the 46-yard line for Linn-Mar.
Ocampo had a nice tackle there at the end of that play.
Ocampo has really played nice all season long. He's leading the Muskie team in interceptions this season, and including 2 big ones in that Central game. Coming off the bench, so 3 receivers right for Orr. Here comes a receiver in motion. That's a fake. He's going to boot to his right, and he's got White open in the flat, who smartly goes down inbounds and keeps the clock running. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for Linn-Mar.
I don't know who it was on that Linn-Mar, but they could have easily had a block in the back, but he pulled up, played smart football there.
There was 2 heads-up plays there. Again, most running backs at this age, their natural tendency is to fight for a couple extra yards and get pushed out of bounds, and he realized where he was and gave it up and went down. So 34 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter as Muscatine is trailing.
I don't even think they're going to run a play.
Well, there's 8 seconds left on the play clock.
They're going to.
So a victory formation for Linn-Mar. They'll snap it and take a knee as the clock winds down here at Linn-Mar Stadium. As the Muskies will fall to Linn-Mar 35-19 in this Class 4A District 4 matchup. And Chuck, that's the ball game. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with our post-game show brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water on the Muscatine Sports Network, brought to you by Discover Muscatine.
We're about our customers, and we're committed to meeting their financial needs, and we're also a big part of the community.
I get a little excited during the football season, and just the other day I spiked the ball, and this is what happened. Hey, Logan.
Do that again.
All right.
Whoa! What kind of
Hey,
magic
Jimmy.
was that?
It's called Toyota Magic. And just like that, you can come out and get a brand new Toyota. So come and see us at Toyota Muscatine.
Demand, offering great pay and rewarding work. We're proud to prepare your path ahead. We are Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, the community's college.
Air service, snow removal, and much more, starting as low as $7. Call your friendly neighborhood pooper scoopers for a quote. Proud supporter of Muskie sports.
Been a local favorite in Muscatine for years, and we're dedicated to bringing you big sandwiches and big smiles. We're community driven and proud to call Muscatine our home. On behalf of all the employees at Avenue Subs, go Muskies!
Linn-Mar, 35-19, and Chuck, Muscatine trailing 35-0 going into the fourth quarter, creating 4 turnovers in that fourth quarter alone to get back into this game at 35-19 as we talk about our post-game show brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water.
Right, you know, they could have laid down and Linn-Mar could have scored 2 or 3 more, but they were determined that they weren't going to let that happen. And as you see, 19 points in the fourth quarter. And like I said, maybe that isn't important to some people here tonight, but those 19 points I think will be important for the next 2 ball games as far as we've got some momentum, we've got some confidence, and our coaches, I believe can tell them that you know, we can win 2 ball games yet, and I believe that myself.
2 home games to finish out the season. Iowa City West comes to Muscatine next Friday night, and then the following Friday, Davenport North to finish out the season. Again, lots in front of this team still for the year, and a lot to be proud of tonight as our offensive player of the game, Chuck, brought to you by Guadalajara Mexican Cuisine, goes to?
Well, it goes to Tim Nemley, no doubt. He ran really hard and often and just did a tremendous job offensively for us.
2 touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing for the junior tailback. And then our defensive player of the game presented by Eastern Iowa Community College.
It's going to be no doubt Togadisa. He just played a great game. He may not have a lot of tackles, may not see a lot of stats, but boy, did he block up the middle, and he just created havoc there in the middle of the line, and just had heart and determination and fire, and that's what we need.
Yeah, he was a factor, a disruptor at that nose tackle position, something I love to see. After all, Chuck, I am an old nose tackle coach, former nose tackle coach, and it's a fun position to watch. And then our Chicharo's Tequila Bar and Grill play of the game, we're going to give that one to Eli Gay.
That was a real nice catch. He could have been caught right there, but had a great move and got it into the end zone. And it's great to see him get in here because he is one of the most outstanding receivers, I believe, in 4A, and it's good for him to show that.
And again, a big thank you to all of our community who's tuning in, watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, on the Discover Muscatine channels, on those 2 streaming entities, and watching us on Muscatine Power and Water, our presenter of our post-game show. Another big thank you to our sponsors of Poop Pals, First National Bank of Muscatine, our Hy-Vee Market Grill Express, Avenue Subs, Carrie Dennison for City Council, the Nutrition Outlet, Boonies on the Avenue, and Excel Auto Glass, along with Bosch Pest Control. Find supporters of this Discover Muscatine broadcast. And again, Chuck, tomorrow, if you're looking for something to do in our wonderful community, head out to Muscatine Stadium. The Mighty Muskie Marching Band Invitational is at Muscatine. Some great high school marching band action. That money for the ticket gate goes right back to our local band program. And so another great activity in our community tomorrow.
And those kids work really hard, so they deserve a big crowd. So hopefully you can get out there and see it.
So go check out the Muskie bands tomorrow. Again, we'll be back next Friday night as the Muskies tackle Iowa City West at home. It's Youth Sports Foundation night, so the young football players in our community will have a chance to meet and watch the Muskies warm up before the game and get some time on the field and be recognized. And also that Iowa City West, a young man named Morgan, their quarterback, one of the better quarterbacks in the state of Iowa, already has offers to play football from Iowa State, has a full ride offer to pitch at the University of Iowa. And Muscatine has a big challenge there, but that's a challenge I think that they are up for. Iowa City West offense also led by former Muskie quarterback Andrew Durham as offensive coordinator. So lots of storylines there as the Trojans come to town next week.
Yeah, he's a tremendous football player, Morgan, a tremendous athlete. He'll be fun to watch, but we don't want him to have too much fun, so we'll work hard this week to get ready for him.
Well, we've had fun tonight. Again, Brian Musell out, so Chuck Van Heck, the Hall of Famer, coming in and helping out, and we appreciate it. And I know Brian was watching at home, and we appreciate him as well, and glad he could have another night.
Well, Doug Krieger told me not to give up my day job, so.
What is the day job? You get to play golf. You live in the life now, Chuck.
That's what I said. I never give up my day job. I don't do anything.
Well, that is a good one to end on as we close it up here as the Muskies fall again, 35-19 against Linn-Mar in this District 4 action. We'll sign off. Thanks again for watching the Muscatine Sports Network, presented by Discover Muscatine.